Hi, I'm Jim Lowe, and welcome to High Country Chronicles Knives and Gear. I am currently working my way out of the Central Coast. The mountains of the Central Coast are where I like to go for winter backpacking. Temperatures are usually pretty mild, high 60s, low 30s. In addition to backpacking, I'm going to be doing some fishing here. So if that sounds like something that you'd enjoy, stay tuned.
I seek solitude and rest. Take the stress off my chest. Words are empty when majestic is everywhere.
Hi, I'm Jim Lowe, and welcome to High Country Chronicles Knives and Gear. It is Wednesday, December. What are you? So Rod's recording me doing my recording. It's Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, and Rod from Rod Outdoors and I are at the Central Coast. We're gonna hike into the Central Coast today, do a little fishing, do a little backpacking. Very little fishing because the regs here, special regulations, it's only open Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday. So we'll have some time to fish this afternoon, but that'll be it. Okay, so it's been a few years since I've been out here, mainly because the bridge to my preferred campsite has been down. And it's still down, but the creek should be low enough for us to cross, so we'll see how that goes. So our exact route this trip is yet to be determined. I've got my kukri with me because it's light. Well, it's fairly light for the amount of work that it can do, and so that'll be interesting. I've not that I can think of, I don't think I've ever carried my kukri on a trip. The downside is it's very loose in the sheath. So if I go down crossing that creek, I could very well lose it. The water looks pretty low. So while we're gone, one of the things that we have to be aware of is the water flows. Yeah. So Vita's going to text me every night and every morning what the flows are, so if we see it coming up, then we know we can get out of Dodge. It's a little bit chilly right now. It's low 40s. Yeah, the temps they've taken a strange turn. So when we had originally planned this trip, the days were going to be low 60s and the nights were going to be low 30s, and now the nights are going to be mid to high 30s, and the days are going to be low 50s, low to mid 50s. So yeah, should be interesting. It'll be cold, but I really want to do more winter camping this year, and so that means not only coming out here but also going up to the Sierra and maybe doing some snowshoeing. So gotta get used to the cold weather. That looks low. I don't remember seeing it this low.
Yeah, see the trail down there?
Pretty nice temperate day so far. So this is the creek that I was going to fish. I was going to come in here and fish the creek and then continue hiking, but I think we're just going to continue hiking. I can come back weekend after next and fish the creek. It's going to be a little warmer the weekend after next, and yeah, and I'll just make it my destination. So we just hit the trail connector. is the trail that'll take us to our first night's camp. Have I talked about the ticks that are here? The ticks that are here are ridiculous. And the first time I came through here, we came back in the middle of the afternoon and the ticks were just falling from the trees, just raining on top of us. Okay, we're starting to come to where the bridge washed out, and yeah, there it is. Wow. Let's see if there's an obvious place where people have been crossing. Okay. Looks like there's a spot down there where we could probably cross. And there's the bridge. The water must have been really raging. I don't know, must have caught a tree or something. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Might be getting a little wet. These rocks look a little slick. And then maybe another spot down there. Okay, I'm over. I dragged my foot coming across, so I got my foot wet. But other than that, not too bad. I am over and I am waiting for Rod. The sun's come out, it's getting a little hot. I've actually got 3 layers on. I've got there he is. I've got a wool t-shirt on. I've got this Orvis bug off shirt. So yeah, I'm getting pretty warm. I have to admit, it's wetter here than I expected. I imagine it's due to all the frost. It looked like there was quite a bit of frost on the ground when we got over the bridge, because the ground was actually really wet. Now, I talked to the ranger before I came up, and they said that even though the bridge was out, somebody had come through and cleared out the trail. So some of the other trails are overgrown and brushy, but this one is wide open. Okay, we've passed the intersection. Oh yeah, we are here. Yes, we are. I was just about to say we should be here, and you're right. Here we are. Here we are at the campsite, and it looks like somebody put in a new fire ring. The old fire ring is still there. I don't know why you would need to put in a new fire ring. Looks like somebody also left their jet boil and some gas. So I guess we'll pack that out because it looks rusted, so it's been here a little while. The only thing about this campsite is the overhanging branches and the fact that this tree does shed. I'm disappointed to see this fire ring here though, because there used to be sitting rocks here. Now there are no sitting rocks. I don't know why you needed to build a new fire ring when the old fire ring is right there. So yeah, so now there's only one place to sit unless you take apart the new fire ring, which I may actually do. But yeah, I'm gonna build a fire in the old fire ring tonight. I've got beans and hot links for dinner again. So all sorts of weirdness going on here now. Look at this.
Is that a letter for a monkey?
Yeah, that's...
Man, they just freaking drilled holes in the bark.
That's weird. And then you got a dog collar, which does have a phone number on it, so we'll pack it out and give those folks a call. And maybe the owner of the dog collar is the same one that owns the jet boil. So I did a little rearranging in the fire pit and put out the put out a couple of rocks for sitting, but I think we're gonna head across the creek and set up camp over there. Too much weirdness going on over here. Okay, so we're gonna go across stream. I'm a little anxious to set up camp so that we can start fishing, because we've only got about 5 hours of light to fish. What? Poison oak. That's not poison oak. No. Nope. Okay, so I always thought it would be kind of cool to camp over here. So we'll spend one night over here and then we'll go up further. Rod's coming over. Okay, so we crossed the stream and we're heading to the next camp, doing a little bushwhacking. Okay, now we're bushwhacking upstream with what Rod thinks is poison oak. I don't think it's poison oak. It's not the same kind of poison oak that we have in the East Bay, that's for sure. Gonna have to check. But here's the stream, and I guess we're spooking fish, but we'll come back later. This is not what I wanted to do. I did not want to be bushwhacking upstream and losing fishing time, but. So we've come to a slot canyon, which I don't remember, but I'm usually wading up the middle of the stream, so it doesn't matter. So we're gonna have to go back and then climb up out of the canyon. We could probably cross over, but I think we're better off just walking back and climbing up. This is really good water though. Back on the main trail. Had to do a little brush clearing with my kukri. Sorry, Rod, that I've led you astray.
You too. Mindful of poison oak?
Yeah. Okay, so when we crossed the river before and we got to that spot that I thought might make a cool camping spot, there's only really one spot there. We kept looking for other spots to see if there were some established spots, and we got up to the top of that little bluff. It was kind of exposed, and then we ended up not being where I thought we were, and yeah, so now we're in this predicament. Not really a predicament, because I mean, I know, you know, we know where we are. It's just, it's cutting into our fishing time. And, you know, we could have just come out here straight away, set up camp by now, and then headed back downstream to fish. Or we could have set up camp at the first camp and been fishing for the last 40 minutes. Okay, we should be coming into the next campsite now. I think this is the lower end of it. And there's the fire ring that I need. So I'm happy to see that. I guess that's firewood, but it's really wet down here. It is super wet down here. I've been here before, but I've never camped here. It's always a hike back from fishing up the stream. And I just stepped in dog poop. Trip's not going as planned. Okay, got the dog poop off of my shoe. Needless to say, my feet are now sopping wet. I think Rod went upstream a little bit. Okay, so went up the stream. Yes, this is not terrible. It's right on the trail, but it's pretty flat and pretty open. Yeah, I think this will do just fine. It's got a fire ring, it's got places to sit. Gonna have a hard time getting a fire going here. so much wet timber. So I was thinking about pitching here, but this tree is leaning in our direction. It's not dead, but looking at some of these fallen trees, they seem to have a shallow root system, and I don't know, I guess it could blow over, so I'm gonna pitch over here. I'm not too worried about this little bit here, because that's all, you know, that's all still alive. It's just fallen over. But it's really kind of muddy in there. I think I'm gonna eat lunch first. We got a few mosquitoes flying around. Roast beef sandwich from Rayleigh's. So while I was eating, came over here and pulled some of these branches apart. This stuff here, it seems to be a little dry. This stuff here is wet. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's different types of wood, but some of the stuff snaps like this. Sounds like it's dry. Some of it is, some of it isn't. And maybe. I think I'm gonna have to take some of the bark off. Get down to some of this drier stuff, I guess. Because the bark is definitely wet. Now, I'd like to be fishing, but it's a little bit more important for me to gather a little wood now. Yeah, that's wet. Because I'm going to need to cook tonight.
Some shavings.
I'm not, well, I'm not really doing anything to get fire starting material. I'm just trying to get the wet bark off. Okay, well, I mean, they're dry enough to snap in my hands, so I guess that's a good thing. Now, this kukri is not stainless, so I expect when I come back, it'll have all sorts of rust on it. I put a layer of Tri-Flow on it before I left, expecting it to get wet. And that's pretty thick bark. There we go. Well, I hope that burns. And this stuff, yeah, maybe I can use some of this stuff to start the fire with later today, if it dries up a little bit. Go that way so I don't hit the rock. And that worked out perfectly. Now that's pretty well soaked in there. Maybe it'll dry up though. So Rod's got his, is it a silky saw? What is that?
It's a Bucko Laplander.
Bucko what?
Yeah, the Bucko Laplander.
Bucko Laplander.
BAHCO.
Okay.
There's a label on it.
And you want to split it in half? Let's see how this goes. There you go.
There you go.
Probably shouldn't have had this foot forward, but whatever. I think I found some decently dry wood. And between the two of us, I think we've probably got more than enough wood for tonight.
This is where this feels a little, this finally get to use my tools. See if I could split this, baton this, the Razzle Max.
Well, this piece is wet. Yeah, Yeah, that's really wet.
Ooh, back to knot.
There we go. This piece is good. This is dry.
Cool.
Let's put this out here so I can get a good swing at it. There we go.
Nice piece of wood, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. And it's fairly dry. And it's hard. Here we go. Go. And I kind of should do it right here, I guess. There's a big old knot there, though.
Oh, this wood is pretty tough.
Right in the knot. I guess I'll go right around it. Right through it. Okay, maybe this will make a good platform to start the fire on. If I can get a good split down the middle. Great. So this will be our platform. So Rod is trying to start a fire with his little twig stove. He's actually got a regular stove, he's got the twig stove, and then of course we're gonna have a real fire tonight. Okay, I've got my tent set up. Rod is playing with his little stick stove, boiling some water, and I'm finally gonna head back and do some fishing. It is late, it is just after 1:30, which is pretty late. The only bonus there is that you know, gave the fish a chance to warm up. I'm gonna be hiking back about 30 minutes and then fishing my way all the way upstream. Okay, 20 minutes and I'm back at the original campsite, almost 30 minutes exactly, and I'm headed down to the creek. Today I'm gonna be fishing a 7.5 foot 4-weight. It's a 3-piece that I patterned after a Payne 100. So I basically took the 2-piece taper and made it into a 3-piece taper. I'm going to be fishing the Gold Ribs Hare's Ear and then just a standard Hare's Ear as well. And I'm going to be moving pretty fast through here. I've only got about 2.5 hours of light left, and I want to make it, you know, the 1.5 miles back to camp. So yeah, here's the creek. And I'm going to be fishing mostly the pocket water, trying to sight fish as much as I can. I'm not going to fish these long runs unless I happen to see fish holding in them. If I see fish holding in them, then I'll fish them. Now I'm hoping all the snakes are hibernating for the winter. I got to keep my eye out for snakes. Pretty slippery surface underneath. Really? First cast, I hook a stick. Wow, that's in there pretty big. Well, I don't want to lose this fly just yet, so I guess I'll wait out there and get it. My leader's a little long for this stream. There we go. Whoop. Well, I launched that fish. It was only like 4 inches. See if I can get back closer to that rock. Okay, caught another 4-inch fish. Okay, I think I'm coming to a good pool, or a couple good pools. Let's see how this goes. I'm not seeing anything in here, but if I can sneak around to the other side of this bend, maybe there's something sitting under this undercut. Trees. Bow and arrow cast. Nope. Let's try one a little bit higher up. No. Looking like a no. So, I think what I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to throw a couple casts into that right there, and then try to throw some casts in behind me. That's not nearly far enough. But I can let it, let's see if I can let it drift back. Nope. Oh, there's a fish. Ah! Small, tiny fish again. They're like 3 or 4 inches. There we go. Get closer to the rock though. Nope. I tell you, all this crouching and small stream, brushy stuff is tough on these old bones. think I got to start wearing knee pads. That might help a little bit. Okay, still not seeing anything other than small fish. I've gotten into like 4 fish all under 4 inches, which is a little ridiculous. But it has, I mean, that has been my experience here in the past, so it's not so much out of line. It's about 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna start working my way through here a little bit faster than I have been. See how we do here. It's nice and open. Hope I'm not spooking too many fish. I'll make a cast, then take a step. Make a cast, take a step. That was a little hard. I'm right over by that. Right over by this rock. Nope. Nope. No, not looking like it. Not in front of the rock. Nope. Right over there in front of the rock. Nope. Nada, not even a 4-inch fish. There we go. And that one's what, 2-3 inches? Yeah, that's about what I'm getting today. Now, if I had more time, I would fish every fishy looking piece of water on the stream, because you never know where the fish are holding, but I don't have time, so fish the pockets and the deeper runs and then keep moving on. So now I am coming up on a piece of water that I know is productive. I think the fish I pulled out of here one year was 14 inches. We'll see if I get anything out of here today. Back then the water was deeper, and that might be the trick here. Wait for the higher water, and maybe you get some fish coming upstream. Finally, a fish bigger than 4 inches. Well, maybe 5. Whoa, come on, come on, come on. A little slippery, a little slippy, slippy, slippy. No, 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 stop moving. There we go. Maybe 6. It might go 6, a skinny 6. But more like 5. Okay, I just had a 12-inch fish. Oh. I looked at that eddy and I said, right there, and I brought it through. That was a good fish. That was a nice, nice, heavy fish. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And if I had my camera on, I would have gotten it on film because he jumped and threw the hook. Okay, well, you know, it's too bad I didn't land that fish, but that's really encouraging because that's the biggest fish that I've seen in here. It's easy 12 or 13 inches that I've seen in here in years. And, you know, I guess he was right where he should have been. The takes are really super light. I mean, I gotta imagine I'm missing a lot of strikes. Okay, sun's going down a lot faster than I thought it would. I'm gonna have to wade my way basically right back to camp. But, you know, even if I don't throw another cast today, that was a great fish to end the day on, regardless of whether I landed it or not. Yeah, normally all this is deep enough that I would be throwing some casts in here. 1 or 2 as I made my way up. And definitely at the bottom of those riffles, but gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Now there's some more deep pockets up here. There's at least another half dozen deep holes that I can fish as I'm making my way up here. So yeah, that was a fish that I'm going to remember for a long time. It was fat. It was really fat, and I got a decent hook set, but he charged upstream and jumped out of the water right away, and I just too good for me. Like normally I would be fishing this. Got into a section where I can just walk up along the bank, which is better because it's gotten so dark that I can't see into the water without my polarized lenses, but it's almost too dark to be wearing polarized lenses. Starting to get to that pocket water that I was mentioning. Oh, I should have fished this. Well, I decided to fish it anyway, and I attracted a 4-inch fish. This is all really good water, but I don't have the time to fish it properly or effectively. So get hung up down there because I don't have enough time to tie on another fly. I've got about 45 minutes before I anticipate I will run out of light. Okay, so I'm going to try to get really close because these takes have been really soft, and I've not been able to detect them from farther away. Even now, I can't see my leader. I can barely see my leader. There we go. And 4-inch fish. Well, they're really 3 inches. Okay. So I'll move up a little bit. Try again. I'll try to get up and to the right. Can't even see my fly going into the water anymore. I can't see anything anymore. I'm going to try taking my my polarized lenses off. Maybe that will help me at least see the fly line. Okay, got another 5 or 6 inch fish. How am I going to land this guy? Oh, maybe I can land him down here without dumping my camera. Oh, no, it's a little bit better than I thought. Yeah, that's not bad. Definitely not the size of the fish that I lost earlier, but that's not terrible. Not terrible considering the size of fish that I've been catching all day. Okay, it's 4 o'clock, and this is where Rod and I climbed out and made our way to the to camp. It took us about, I think it took us about 20 to 30 minutes by trail. I'm gonna cross over the stream and just go up the bank, and hopefully I'll be there in like 10 minutes and I can fish over there. We'll see. Okay, we got some deep frog type water in this canyon, but I wouldn't doubt that there are fish there. That could have been a fish right there. And normally I'd toss a cast in there, but I'm just gonna mosey my way upstream as fast as possible. Yeah, some good water up here. I may fish that little pocket. No, it's not as deep as I thought. This is deep in front of me. Can't tell, even with my glasses on, I can't tell how deep this is, and I can't even see my line. Too low. Okay, looking like nothing. Another good hole, and I'm going to have to pass up. Okay, picked up a legitimate 4-inch fish in the pool behind me, and I think I'm coming to the backside of where Rod and I are staying. I'll actually be glad when I get back to camp, because I'm doing all sorts of slip sliding, contortions, trying not to fall or break anything, so a little tired. Okay, this looks too good to pass up. I'm not sure if I got in here without spooking anything, but let's give it a shot. First, check this rock. Nothing behind the rock. Oh, so much for that. When love comes so strong, there is no right or wrong. Your love is. Okay, that could be a fish. Could be two fish. Love comes so strong. Now, I could have sworn those were fish, but maybe they were just leaves. There we go. Ah, that was a decent fish too. That was a decent fish. Oh well. And a small fish. Well, maybe 6 inches. But definitely wasn't the fish that I just hooked into. Whoops, and he's off. Oh well. That rock fell in the water on top of him and he's off. Okay, let's see if I can get on the other side of that right there. Little tuck cast. Okay, it's about 4:40 and I've dawdled long enough. I should be pretty close to camp now. I think this is the stream exit to the campsite. Yep, this is looking about right. Pretty benign going. Ooh, that's nice and dark and deep. Wow, that's a huge fish. Okay, let's try this. Can I get my fly out? Where'd he go? Did he go upstream? Nope, he's right there. If I can get in down here. I don't think I have enough. Oh, I spooked him. Oh, there's two. There we go. Oh, and I was looking at the other one and he took it. Oh, jeez Louise, these are huge fish. Where's my fly? Okay, I don't even know where they went. Yeah, sorry for the lack of images today. That was a good grab, and I just wasn't ready for it. He grabbed it over here, and another fish came this way, and I looked that way, and I didn't get the hook set. I don't know where the other fish. There are 3 decent fish in here. I don't know where they went. Oh, that was such a missed opportunity. I mean, he took it, and I just flubbed the hook set. Ugh. It was a giant fish. Oh, I can't believe it. I mean, that was like the perfect opportunity. Okay, let me put my glasses back on and see if I see anything. No, it's pitch black. Okay, I guess I'll stand up. There he is. But he's hugging the bottom now. He's not even moving. So I probably put him down. Oh yeah, that fish isn't moving for anything. Definitely put him down. Okay, well, that was a missed opportunity, and sorry if it didn't if it didn't translate well on video. Normally, when I'm wearing this shirt, I can place the camera in a small pocket in the shirt, and it works well. But today, it's sort of flopping all around, so I don't know. Don't know what's going on. That was easily a 16-inch fish. Both of them. They were they were huge. There's the lower campsite, which actually that's not too bad. Now that I take a second look at it. Rod's got a fire going. I can smell it, and I can see smoke. So what a fun day! You know, this trip is all about getting rid of the winter doldrums. Oh, he's got a fire going in the fireplace, and he's got his tarp. I didn't think you'd bring your tarp with all the ticks, but
that's why I brought the bathtub floor. With permethrin treated.
So, how did it go?
Well, twig fire worked out pretty well, so I figure.
I see you burned through most of the wood.
Yeah, pretty much everything, and I cut more.
Okay, well, I better get my stuff on the fire then, because
yeah, the coals are pretty hot right now.
It looks like it's gonna.
It's been going pretty much all day.
All day? You mean you basically had it going since I left?
Yeah, I've just been doing a lot of nothing. That's pretty fine with me.
Okay, so that was a pretty fun day. You know, this whole trip is about getting rid of the winter doldrums, and so yeah. So if I seemed kind of out of it at the beginning of the trip, I kind of was, because I needed to get rid of the winter doldrums. But this has certainly done it. So I'm really happy with how today turned out. I haven't seen fish this big in this creek in quite a few years, let alone hooked any. Too bad I didn't land any, but you know, I got a 6-incher, a couple 5-inchers, a bunch of 4, well, not a bunch of 4, a 1-4, and a bunch that were legitimately 3 inches and less. So, but yeah, I mean, that's probably the most fish that I've caught here in my last 2 or 3 trips. So I'm pretty happy about it. If you've watched it to this point, thank you for that. I really appreciate it, and thanks for coming along.
The hills are calling, where the lakes are my home. Leave the stress behind, find peace in my mind. With the still water flowing, lines I'm throwing. Loneliness is not here, there is life everywhere.